Welcome to a delicious journey back to the 1980s, a decade that brought us some of the most iconic and beloved foods. Sadly, many of these flavors have disappeared from shelves, never to be tasted again. In today's video, we're counting down the 20 most wanted 1980s foods you'll never taste again. Whether you lived through the era or just love a bit of retro nostalgia, these lost treats are sure to bring back some tasty memories. Number 1. JellO Pudding Pops. JellO Pudding Pops, introduced by General Foods, later acquired by Kraft, were a unique frozen dessert innovation of the late 1970s and became iconic throughout the 1980s. Unlike traditional popsicles, these treats offered a rich and creamy texture that mimicked the consistency of pudding, achieved through a specific blend of ingredients and freezing techniques that kept the product from becoming overly icy. The success of JellO Pudding Pops was not just in their taste but also in their strategic marketing, which featured memorable TV ads starring Bill Cosby, helping to cement their place in American pop culture. The product was designed to appeal to both children and parents by offering a dessert that felt indulgent yet familiar, leveraging the already established trust in the JellO brand. Each pop was individually wrapped, making it convenient for parents to include in lunches or serve as an after-school snack. In terms of production, JellO Pudding Pops were made using a proprietary process that involved flash freezing the pudding mixture to lock in its creamy texture. This method prevented the large ice crystals typically found in other frozen desserts, creating a smooth, almost mousse-like consistency. The unique manufacturing technique required specialized equipment, which added to the production costs and complexity. Despite their popularity, JellO Pudding Pops faced challenges related to production efficiency and distribution logistics, which contributed to their eventual discontinuation in the early 1990s. The intricate production process meant that they were more expensive to produce compared to simpler frozen treats, and this, combined with a lack of sufficient sales volume to justify the cost, led to their removal from the market. The discontinuation left a significant gap in the market, and while various companies have tried to replicate the success of JellO Pudding Pops, none have managed to capture the exact texture and flavor profile of the original. The legacy of JellO Pudding Pops lives on as a nostalgic memory for many who grew up in the 1980s, with fans often expressing a longing for their return in various online forums and social media platforms. Number 2. Keebler Magic Middles. Keebler Magic Middles were a beloved snack from the 1980s that offered a unique twist on the traditional cookie. These cookies were distinctive because of their soft, buttery outer shell that encased a rich, gooey filling, which came in two main varieties: chocolate and peanut butter. The contrast between the crispy exterior and the creamy, sweet center made them a hit among children and adults alike. The product's design was particularly innovative for its time, as it combined the elements of a cookie and a candy bar into one convenient, satisfying treat. The popularity of Magic Middles was partly due to Keebler's effective marketing, which featured their signature animated elf characters, including the iconic Ernie the Elf, who was portrayed as crafting these magical cookies in their treehouse bakery. This whimsical branding resonated with consumers and created a strong emotional connection to the product. Despite their popularity, Magic Middles were unexpectedly discontinued in the 1990s. The exact reasons behind their discontinuation remain unclear, but it's speculated that production costs and changing consumer tastes may have played a role. Since then, there has been significant demand for their return, with dedicated fan groups and petitions circulating online, pleading with Keebler to bring back the product. The enduring nostalgia and continued interest in Magic Middles underscore their lasting impact on those who enjoyed them during their brief time on the market. Number 3. PB Max. PB Max was a distinctive candy bar that gained popularity in the early 1990s. It was produced by Mars, Incorporated, and quickly became a favorite due to its rich combination of ingredients. The PB Max featured a thick, crunchy cookie base that was topped with a generous layer of creamy peanut butter, all covered in a smooth milk chocolate coating. What made PB Max stand out was the quality of its peanut butter layer, which was made from real peanuts and offered a rich, authentic flavor that peanut butter lovers adored. The candy bar was also notable for its size. It was larger than many other chocolate bars on the market, providing a satisfying and indulgent treat. The balance of textures, crunchy cookie, smooth peanut butter, and creamy chocolate, made it a unique and memorable snack. Despite its popularity, PB Max was discontinued, and the reasons for its removal from the market remain somewhat unclear. Some reports suggest that internal decisions within Mars, influenced by the company's leadership, who reportedly weren't fond of peanut butter, led to its discontinuation. fans of PB Max still express their nostalgia and disappointment over its disappearance, with many considering it one of the best candy bars ever produced. Over the years, various petitions and social media campaigns have emerged, urging Mars to bring back PB Max, but these efforts have yet to yield results. Its absence has only heightened the mystique and desire for this iconic snack, making it a sought-after memory for those who experienced its unique taste. Number 4. McDonald's McDLT. The McDonald's McDLT, introduced in the mid-1980s, was a unique take on the classic burger that aimed to solve the common problem of soggy lettuce and tomato in fast food sandwiches. The McDLT, which stood for McDonald's lettuce and tomato, was ingeniously packaged in a specially designed styrofoam container that separated the hot and cold ingredients. The hot side of the burger, which included the beef patty and bottom bun, was kept warm in one compartment, while the cold side, containing the lettuce, tomato, pickles, cheese, and top bun, was kept cool in another. This innovative packaging allowed customers to assemble the burger just before eating, ensuring the vegetables remained crisp and the cheese didn't melt prematurely. The McDLT was marketed heavily, with a memorable advertising campaign featuring Jason Alexander, who would later become famous for his role on Seinfeld. Despite its popularity, the McDLT was eventually discontinued in the early 1990s, largely due to growing environmental concerns over the use of styrofoam packaging, which was not biodegradable. The McDLT is remembered today as a bold experiment in fast food that highlighted McDonald's willingness to innovate, even if the product's success was ultimately limited by external factors. Number 5. Taco Bell's Bell Beefer. Taco Bell's Bell Beefer was a unique menu item introduced in the 1970s, distinguishing itself from the brand's usual Mexican-inspired fare. Essentially a sloppy Joe with a Taco Bell twist, the Bell Beefer featured seasoned ground beef, shredded lettuce, diced onions, and a tangy taco sauce, all served on a soft hamburger bun. It was designed to appeal to customers who were looking for a burger-style option but with the familiar flavors of Taco Bell. The Bell Beefer was part of Taco Bell's broader strategy to diversify its menu and cater to American fast food preferences that leaned heavily towards burgers. Unlike tacos or burritos, the Bell Beefer offered a more familiar eating experience for those less inclined towards traditional Mexican food. Despite its popularity, especially among those who appreciated its convenience and taste, the Bell Beefer was discontinued in the mid-1980s, likely due to a combination of shifting customer preferences and Taco Bell's decision to refocus on its core offerings. Over the years, the Bell Beefer has garnered a cult following, with many former fans expressing nostalgia for this discontinued item. Discussions on social media and in various food forums often highlight the Bell Beefer as a symbol of Taco Bell's experimental phase, and there have been numerous requests and petitions to bring it back. However, as of now, Taco Bell has shown no signs of reviving the Bell Beefer, making it one of the many beloved fast food items lost to time. Number 6. Burger King's Yumbo. The Yumbo was a unique offering from Burger King that first made its debut in 1968. Unlike the typical burger options that dominated fast food menus, the Yumbo was a hot ham and cheese sandwich, served on a toasted hoagie bun. The sandwich featured layers of thinly sliced ham and melted American cheese, providing a simple yet satisfying alternative to the usual beef-based items. What set the Yumbo apart was its simplicity and comfort food appeal. During its original run, the Yumbo catered to those looking for a lighter, more straightforward option compared to the heavily seasoned and sauced burgers. Despite its popularity in the late 1960s and early 1970s, the Yumbo was eventually phased out, likely due to evolving consumer preferences and Burger King's focus on expanding its more traditional burger menu. In 2014, Burger King briefly brought back the Yumbo as part of a nostalgic marketing campaign, aiming to tap into the memories of those who enjoyed it decades earlier. The return was short-lived, though, as it was removed from the menu again in 2015. The re-release featured some modifications, including a different type of bread and additional toppings, but it didn't manage to recapture the original charm that made the Yumbo a favorite for many. The Yumbo remains a memorable item in Burger King's history, particularly for those who remember the original sandwich from their youth. Its simple combination of ham and cheese, along with its brief resurgence, highlights the strong connection between food and nostalgia in fast food culture. Number 7. Smurf Berry Crunch. Smurf Berry Crunch cereal was introduced by Post in the early 1980s, capitalizing on the widespread popularity of the Smurfs cartoon, which had become a cultural phenomenon. The cereal was designed to appeal to children, featuring small, colorful berry-shaped pieces in blue and red, mimicking the whimsical nature of the Smurf village. The cereal's flavor was a blend of fruity and berry notes, specifically formulated to stand out among other sugary cereals of the time. One of the unique aspects of Smurf Berry Crunch was its connection to Saturday morning cartoons, a staple of 1980s childhood. The cereal was often advertised during these shows, making it a highly visible product that was directly tied to the beloved Smurf characters. The vibrant box design, which prominently featured characters like Papa Smurf and Smurfette, further strengthened the connection between the show and the cereal, making it a must-have item for young fans. The cereal itself had a distinctive crunch, a texture that Post cereals were known for, which kept it from becoming soggy too quickly in milk. This was a deliberate choice, as it added to the eating experience, making each bite enjoyable for children who were likely watching their favorite Smurfs episodes while enjoying breakfast. Despite its initial success, the cereal faced challenges as the popularity of the Smurfs began to wane towards the late 1980s. This, coupled with the introduction of new competing cereals that offered similar fruity flavors, led to its eventual discontinuation. The legacy of Smurf Berry Crunch, however, has endured, with many adults today recalling it as a fond part of their childhood. Some collectors even seek out unopened boxes as nostalgic memorabilia, and discussions about the cereal continue in online communities dedicated to 1980s nostalgia. Number 8. Ice Cream Cones Cereal. Ice Cream Cones cereal was introduced by General Mills in 1987 as a novelty breakfast option designed to capture the imagination of children. The cereal was shaped like miniature ice cream cones, with two distinct flavors representing popular ice cream types, chocolate chip and vanilla. Each cone-shaped piece was complemented by tiny, crispy scoops of cereal, making the experience of eating it similar to enjoying an ice cream sundae. The cereal was not only unique in its shape but also in its flavor profile, which was intentionally sweet and dessert-like, setting it apart from more traditional cereals. One of the key marketing strategies behind ice cream cone cereal was its fun and playful appeal. The cereal boxes often featured vibrant, colorful artwork and included promotional content that connected with the popular culture of the time. The mascot for the cereal, an animated character named Ice Cream Jones, would deliver the cereal in his ice cream mobile, further enhancing the fantasy-like experience associated with the product. Despite its initial popularity and the strong appeal to its target audience, Ice Cream Cone cereal was discontinued after a short run, likely due to its high sugar content and changing consumer preferences towards more health-conscious breakfast options. However, the cereal has maintained a lasting legacy among those who grew up in the late 1980s, with many adults nostalgically recalling its unique taste and the excitement of eating ice cream for breakfast. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of interest in vintage cereals like ice cream cones, with petitions and social media campaigns urging companies to bring back these beloved products. Number 9. Ghostbusters Cereal. Ghostbusters Cereal was introduced by Ralston Purina in 1985 as part of the massive marketing push surrounding the success of the Ghostbusters movie franchise. The cereal was designed to capitalize on the popularity of the film, targeting children who were captivated by the ghost-hunting adventures of the movie's characters. Ghostbusters Cereal featured fruity-flavored, corn-based pieces shaped like the franchise's iconic logo, the No Ghost symbol, alongside marshmallow pieces shaped like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, another key character from the movie. The cereal box itself was a collector's item, adorned with vibrant artwork of the Ghostbusters team and ghosts, which made it stand out on supermarket shelves. The product's marketing was heavily integrated with the Ghostbusters brand, including tie-ins with toys, cartoons, and other merchandise, creating a comprehensive fan experience that extended from the screen to the breakfast table. One of the unique aspects of Ghostbusters cereal was its limited edition nature. Released at the height of the franchise's popularity, it was available for a relatively short period, which has contributed to its lasting appeal and nostalgia among fans. The cereal's flavor was described as a mix of fruity sweetness with the added texture of marshmallows, appealing to children who were drawn to colorful, sugary cereals. Despite its popularity, Ghostbusters cereal was discontinued as the initial wave of Ghostbusters mania subsided in the late 1980s. However, it remains a beloved memory for those who grew up in that era, and unopened boxes of the cereal have since become sought-after collectibles. The nostalgia surrounding Ghostbusters cereal continues to be a point of discussion in fan communities, where it's remembered as a quintessential part of 1980s pop culture. Number 10. Carnation Breakfast Bars. Carnation Breakfast Bars, introduced in the 1970s by Nestle under the Carnation brand, were one of the earliest attempts to provide a convenient, on-the-go breakfast option that combined nutrition with ease of consumption. Marketed as a balanced meal replacement, these bars were designed for busy individuals who needed a quick breakfast solution but didn't have time to sit down for a traditional meal. Each bar was fortified with essential vitamins and minerals, aiming to replicate the nutritional value of a full breakfast. The bars were available in several flavors, including chocolate, peanut butter, and granola, making them appealing to a wide range of tastes. Their dense, chewy texture was a result of combining whole grains, protein, and a blend of sweeteners, which also made them filling and satisfying. Carnation breakfast bars were particularly popular among professionals, students, and athletes who appreciated the convenience without compromising on nutrition. What made Carnation breakfast bars stand out was their association with health and wellness during a time when many breakfast options were heavily processed and sugar-laden. The brand positioned these bars as a smart choice for those looking to maintain energy levels throughout the morning. They were also heavily advertised, with campaigns highlighting their balanced nutrition and portability. Despite their popularity, Carnation breakfast bars were discontinued in the late 1980s. The reasons for their disappearance from the market are not entirely clear, but it's speculated that changes in consumer preferences and the rise of newer, more competitive breakfast products may have contributed. Today, these bars are fondly remembered by many who enjoyed them during their peak years, and their legacy lives on as one of the pioneering products in the meal replacement category. Number 11. Planters Cheese Balls. Planters cheese balls were a beloved snack introduced by Planters in the early 1980s. These bright orange, bite-sized bowls of cheese-flavored goodness quickly became a favorite among snack enthusiasts, standing out in the crowded snack aisle due to their unique, highly addictive taste and distinctive packaging. The iconic blue canister, with its pop-off metal lid, became a symbol of 1980s snacking culture. What made Planters cheese balls particularly memorable was their intensely cheesy flavor and satisfying crunch, a result of a carefully developed recipe that balanced just the right amount of cheese powder with a light, crispy texture. The product's appeal was further enhanced by its portability and resealable container, making it a popular choice for everything from lunchbox treats to party snacks. Despite their popularity, Planters cheese balls were discontinued in the mid-2000s, much to the disappointment of their devoted fan base. The exact reasons for their removal from the market remain unclear, though it is speculated that shifts in consumer snack preferences and internal company decisions played a role. The outcry over their discontinuation was so strong that it led to multiple fan petitions and social media campaigns begging for their return. In response to this nostalgia-driven demand, Planters re-released cheese balls for a limited time in 2018, which was met with enthusiasm from fans who longed to relive a piece of their childhood. While the re-released product aimed to replicate the original as closely as possible, some fans noted slight differences in taste and texture, likely due to changes in production methods or ingredients. Nevertheless, the return of Planters cheese balls served as a reminder of the lasting impact this snack had on American pop culture. Number 12. Oos Potato Chips. Oos Potato Chips were introduced in the late 1980s by Procter & Gamble as a unique snack that set itself apart through its distinctive puffed texture. Unlike traditional chips, these had a light, airy structure that provided a different kind of crunch. The name Oos suggested a burst of flavor, which was delivered through intense seasoning in varieties such as original, sour cream and onion, and cheddar. The manufacturing process involved baking rather than frying, creating a texture that was both crisp and less greasy than regular chips. This method also allowed for a more concentrated flavor experience, which quickly gained a loyal following. The chips were known for their strong taste and memorable crunch, making them a popular choice among snack enthusiasts during their time. Oos enjoyed a significant following but were discontinued in the mid-1990s, leaving fans disappointed. While the reasons for their discontinuation aren't fully clear, market changes and evolving snack preferences likely played a role. Today, these chips are fondly remembered as a part of snack history, with many reminiscing about their unique taste and texture. Discussions about Oos frequently appear in nostalgic forums, with fans expressing hope that they might one day return to shelves. Number 13. New Coke. New Coke, launched by the Coca-Cola Company in April 1985, was one of the most controversial product decisions in marketing history. This reformulation was introduced in response to the growing competition from Pepsi, which had been gaining market share with its sweeter taste profile. Coca-Cola's executives decided to create a new version of their iconic soda that was sweeter and smoother, closely resembling Pepsi's flavor, in an attempt to attract younger consumers and regain market dominance. The decision to change the 99-year-old formula was based on extensive taste tests and market research, which suggested that consumers preferred the new flavor over both the original Coca-Cola and Pepsi. However, what the research failed to capture was the deep emotional attachment that Americans had to the original Coke, a product that had become a cultural icon. The introduction of new Coke sparked immediate backlash. Loyal customers were outraged, and the negative response was overwhelming. People felt betrayed, and the outcry included thousands of phone calls, letters, and protests demanding the return of the original formula. Some consumers even began hoarding the old Coke, fearing it would be lost forever. In response to the public outcry, Coca-Cola reintroduced the original formula just 79 days later, under the name Coca-Cola Classic. This quick reversal is often seen as a major corporate blunder, but it also demonstrated the power of brand loyalty. Despite its failure, New Coke did have a lasting impact, as it ultimately strengthened the bond between consumers and the original Coca-Cola, reaffirming its place as the preferred choice. Number 14. Crystal Pepsi. Crystal Pepsi, launched by PepsiCo in 1992, was a bold and innovative attempt to shake up the soft drink market by offering a cola that was completely clear. Unlike traditional colas, which are characterized by their caramel coloring, Crystal Pepsi was designed to look pure and transparent, capitalizing on the early 1990s trend towards clarity and health consciousness in food and beverages. The idea was to present a soda that looked healthier due to its lack of artificial colorants, even though its ingredients and flavor profile were very similar to standard colas. The product was marketed heavily, with a memorable Super Bowl commercial featuring Van Halen's hit song Right Now, which helped generate significant initial interest and curiosity. The marketing positioned Crystal Pepsi as a refreshing alternative to traditional colas, tapping into the era's desire for novelty and the growing trend of clear products like Zima and clear shampoos. Despite the initial buzz, Crystal Pepsi struggled to maintain momentum after its launch. While the flavor was a mild variation of regular Pepsi, many consumers found it disorienting that the drink tasted like cola but lacked the expected color. This disconnect between appearance and taste led to a decline in sales, and the product was ultimately pulled from the market in early 1994, less than 2 years after its introduction. The short-lived nature of Crystal Pepsi has since made it a subject of nostalgia and intrigue. It has been periodically re-released in limited runs, often spurred by fan demand and internet campaigns, but these reintroductions have been brief. Crystal Pepsi remains a fascinating case study in marketing, consumer psychology, and the challenges of innovating within established product categories. Number 15. Sliced Soda. Sliced soda was introduced by PepsiCo in 1984 as a fruit-flavored soft drink line, designed to compete with established citrus sodas like 7-Up and Sprite. Slice stood out from its competitors by offering a variety of flavors, each boasting a high percentage of real fruit juice, which was a significant selling point at the time. The original flavor, lemon lime, contained 10% real fruit juice, a unique feature that was emphasized in its marketing campaigns to appeal to health-conscious consumers. Over the years, Slice expanded its range to include other fruit flavors such as orange, apple, cherry cola, and even a fruit punch variant. Each of these flavors aimed to provide a more authentic fruit taste compared to other sodas that primarily relied on artificial flavors. The packaging of Slice also featured bright, eye-catching colors, which helped it stand out on store shelves and appeal to a younger demographic. Despite its initial success and loyal fanbase, the Slice brand began to lose market share in the 1990s as competition intensified and consumer preferences shifted. The declining sales eventually led PepsiCo to phase out Slice in favor of more popular brands and new product lines. However, Slice's legacy remains, particularly among those who fondly remember its distinct fruity flavors and the unique addition of real juice. In recent years, Slice has been revived by a different company, aiming to recapture the nostalgic appeal while modernizing the brand to fit current market trends. The new iteration of Slice includes natural sweeteners and a renewed focus on healthier beverage options, reflecting the evolving preferences of today's consumers. Number 16. Hostess Chocodiles. Hostess Chocodiles were a unique twist on the classic Twinkie, offering a chocolate-covered version of the iconic snack cake. First introduced in the mid-1970s, Chocodiles featured the same soft, golden sponge cake filled with creamy vanilla filling as a Twinkie, but with an added layer of rich, smooth chocolate coating. This combination made Chocodiles a distinct treat, appealing to those who loved the classic Twinkie but craved a bit more indulgence. Chocodiles quickly gained a loyal following, particularly on the West Coast, where they were most readily available. The chocolate coating not only added flavor but also helped preserve the freshness of the cake, making Chocodiles a popular choice for lunchboxes and on-the-go snacking. Despite their popularity in certain regions, Chocodiles were not as widely distributed as other Hostess products, leading to a sense of exclusivity and a devoted fan base that sought them out wherever they could be found. However, by the late 1990s and early 2000s, Chocodiles became increasingly difficult to find, leading to their discontinuation in many areas. This scarcity only increased their allure, turning them into a nostalgic item for those who grew up enjoying them. Hostess eventually reintroduced Chocodiles in 2014, attempting to capture the original magic, but some fans noted subtle differences in taste and texture, possibly due to changes in ingredients or production methods. Today, Chocodiles are remembered fondly as a part of snack history, representing a time when simple innovations could turn a familiar product into something entirely new and exciting. Number 17. Pudding Roll UPS. Pudding Roll UPS were a short-lived but memorable snack introduced by Betty Crocker in the early 1990s, following the success of the original Fruit Roll UPS. Unlike their fruity counterparts, Pudding Roll UPS offered a unique twist by combining the concept of a rolled snack with the rich, creamy flavor of pudding. They were available in several flavors, including chocolate and vanilla, and had a smooth, almost custard-like texture that set them apart from the more chewy, fruit-based Roll UPS. These snacks were marketed as a fun, portable dessert option for kids, appealing to those who enjoyed the novelty of Fruit Roll UPS but with a more indulgent twist. The product was designed to be an easy, mess-free way to enjoy pudding, which traditionally required a spoon and a container. Pudding Roll UPS allowed children to experience the familiar taste of pudding in a completely new format, making them an exciting addition to lunchboxes or after-school treats. Despite their innovative concept, Pudding Roll UPS struggled to gain the same level of popularity as Fruit Roll UPS. Their brief time on the market was likely due to the challenges in maintaining the delicate balance between texture and flavor in a shelf-stable product. Additionally, the product's niche appeal may not have resonated broadly with consumers, leading to its eventual discontinuation. However, for those who remember Pudding Roll UPS, they remain a nostalgic reminder of the creative experimentation that characterized snack food development in the 1990s. Number 18. Vienetta Ice Cream Cake. Vienetta Ice Cream Cake, originally launched by Walls in the UK and later brought to the US by Breyers, was a frozen dessert that quickly gained a reputation for its luxurious presentation and indulgent taste. The cake was designed with intricate layers of velvety ice cream and crisp, rippling chocolate that created a visually stunning and texturally rich dessert. Each slice of Vienetta revealed the detailed craftsmanship behind its creation, with the chocolate layers adding a satisfying crunch to the smooth creaminess of the ice cream. The production of Vienetta was unique for its time. The process involved carefully layering soft ice cream and chocolate using a specialized machine that created the cake's signature wave-like appearance. This method was not only innovative but also allowed the product to be mass-produced while maintaining an air of sophistication. The result was a dessert that looked as though it belonged in a fine dining setting, yet was affordable and accessible to the average consumer. Vienetta was often marketed as the perfect dessert for special occasions, positioning itself as a treat that could elevate any gathering. The brand's advertising emphasized its elegance, often featuring the cake being served at upscale dinners or family celebrations, reinforcing its image as a premium dessert option. Its appeal was further enhanced by the fact that it was different from typical ice cream offerings. Vienetta wasn't just ice cream, it was an experience. Despite its popularity in the 1990s, Vienetta faced challenges as the market evolved and new dessert trends emerged. The complexity of its production and its premium positioning made it more costly compared to other ice cream products, which may have contributed to its reduced availability in the US market over time. However, Vienetta remained popular in Europe and other regions, where it continued to be a beloved dessert. Number 19. Archway Iced Animal Cookies. Archway Iced Animal Cookies were a beloved treat, particularly popular in the 1980s and 1990s. These cookies were not only a nostalgic snack for many, but also stood out due to their unique characteristics. Each cookie was shaped like a playful animal, covered in a thick layer of colorful, sugary icing that added both sweetness and visual appeal. The icing often came in pastel colors, making these cookies especially attractive to children, though they were equally enjoyed by adults who appreciated their nostalgic value. What made Archway iced animal cookies different from other animal-shaped snacks was their quality. Archway was known for its commitment to using wholesome ingredients, and this was evident in the rich, buttery flavor of the cookies. The icing was not just a decorative element but added a satisfying crunch that complemented the soft, crumbly texture of the cookie itself. The combination of these textures and flavors made them a standout product in the cookie aisle. Despite their popularity, Archway iced animal cookies gradually disappeared from store shelves, much to the disappointment of their fans. The reasons for their discontinuation are not entirely clear, but changes in consumer preferences, market competition, and possibly the cost of production may have contributed. Today, these cookies are remembered fondly by those who grew up enjoying them, and they remain a sought-after item among collectors of vintage snacks. The legacy of Archway iced animal cookies lives on in the memories of those who cherish them as a special part of their childhood. Their disappearance has only fueled their status as a nostalgic treat, with many hoping for their return in the ever-evolving world of snack foods. Number 20. Marathon Bar. The Marathon Bar, introduced by Mars Incorporated in 1973, was a distinctively long and braided caramel candy bar covered in milk chocolate. What set the Marathon Bar apart from other candy bars was its impressive length. 8 inches of sweet, chewy caramel intertwined and coated with a layer of smooth chocolate. The candy's name, Marathon, was a nod to its length and the time it took to eat, as the bar was designed to last longer than a typical chocolate bar. The Marathon Bar was packaged in a bright red wrapper with a ruler printed on the back, emphasizing its unique length. This ruler also became a part of the bar's marketing strategy, with slogans like, "It lasts a good long time." The ruler wasn't just for show, it was a playful way to demonstrate that you were indeed getting more candy with each purchase. The texture of the Marathon Bar was another distinguishing feature. The caramel was dense and chewy, requiring a bit of effort to consume, which made it a favorite among those who enjoyed a candy bar that provided a prolonged snacking experience. The chocolate coating added a sweet contrast to the rich caramel, creating a balanced flavor that was both satisfying and indulgent. Despite its popularity, the Marathon Bar was discontinued in 1981, likely due to production costs and changing consumer preferences. However, its legacy has persisted, with many candy enthusiasts reminiscing about the unique experience of enjoying a Marathon Bar. The memory of the Marathon Bar continues to be a cherished part of confectionery history, and it remains a symbol of a time when candy was both a treat and an experience.